Hello everybody, it's VerticalSandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII, and we are about to begin Irving's Remembrance of the Orphanage. Plenty of kids, all with no parents. It was around the end of the Sorceress War, so I guess it couldn't be held. Anyway, that's where I was. And not all the kids there, one was very special to me. Irving, wanna play? I really like this girl and it made me so happy just talking to her. Siffy, what you playing? So, okay, so Irvine and Selfie have known each other since they were little kids in an orphanage. Got it. End of cutscene. Time to play the game more. Oh, what? No? Was that orphanage a stone house? You guessed it. And an old house made of stone by the ocean? You guessed it. Wait, Christus was there too? I knew right away when we first met. Okay, so Selfie and Christus and Irvine live together in an orphanage? Well, that's unlikely, but it's possible. 'Cause you two seem to have forgotten. I was just kinda... It was just kinda sucked that I was the only one who remembered. Punky little Selfie and bossy little Christy. That is just so weird. That is just so weird, Selfie. And incredibly unlikely that you two would not remember him. Hey, do you guys remember setting up... Hey, do you guys remember setting off fireworks? That was... So... Zell was there too? Well, that's far more unlikely that 4 people would randomly meet each other and that live together. Alright, so now we can actually move around. There's nothing really we can do except kind of advance Irvine's remembrance of the orphanage, where 4 kids that have been hanging out with him for 60 videos worth of LPing have not mentioned. Oh yeah. Sis, where'd you go? You don't like me anymore? What a shameful sight. Switch was there too. Well, that's what, 5? This is like Twilight Zone unlikely at this point. 5 people would all be together at the... None of them would remember the others, except Irvine. I hope there's an explanation. Wait, how come I'm see-through and nobody else is? It's a little creepy. How about this? Yeah! The ocean! The lighthouse! We did set off fireworks! Okay, so you did. You! Kids aren't supposed to play with fireworks! I'm gonna tell on you! Zell's like one of those kids. Cry, baby Zell! Go back to bed! Okay. If I remember this, does that mean I was there too? Yeah, Zell. Like, way to be slow on the uptake there. Then what about my parents in Balam? Yeah, what about that, huh? The Dicks at Balam must have adopted you. Yep, that's probably it. Everybody's just happy with that. They're like, yeah, okay, sure. Okay. You, come on, stop it, me to need help! Oh. Cry, baby, Zell! Okay. Who's that? Everybody knows how that goes. Everybody, okay. Stop teasing me, Cypher! Oh, so Cypher was the... Oh, okay. So, Cypher and Zell and Selfie and Quistis. Never mind. Cypher, my arch enemy. Now, Cypher is obviously not your arch enemy. Cypher is definitely Switch's arch enemy. He's just some guy you don't like. Okay. I'm not gonna read all the dialogue in this because it's lengthy and like it's funner to make fun of this. Okay. So yeah, so we're obviously remembering this too. It doesn't remember Irvine at all. It's just like, meh. I think you were difficult to deal with. Yeah, and he'll have a remembrance of each of these kids as he makes them disappear. I'm controlling this, by the way. You don't have to do this. You don't have to go along and make these kids disappear. Zell always crying and screaming. Ha ha, Zell was a crybaby. Oh, wait, that's not funny. I myself was quite the crybaby at one point in time. Ugh. Cypher was there too. Except for Renoa, we were all there. Hey, that means... Yeah, Switch is just like, shut up, everybody. Yeah, I was there too. Okay. Sis? So now we get the kid. I was always waiting for Sis to come back. So now it explains the kid standing in the rain all by himself. It's like the saddest thing in the world. So this reminds me, like, as we remember that all these people were here, and like we're gonna find out that like far more people were here than we like that they kind of let on. Like I just remember there's this Futurama where like Zoidberg buys this house underwater, and it burns down, and Herbie Conrad's like, that just raises questions, and then like, oh, Alane was Sis. Okay, so Alane was there too. She's a bit older than us, so we all used to call her Sis. Krista Zell selfie Irvine. Yeah, it's like when you say it that way, it sounds so implausible. But then, like, Bender walks over to the house and he's like, oh, this is where my cigar went. And Herbie's just like, that raises further more questions. Like, that's how I feel about this scene. It was like every character they introduced, they're like, that just raises more questions. You mean Sis is Alane? She's the one that takes us back to Laguna's period. She said she wanted to change the past. I don't know why. Oh shit, that was my voice. Oh my god, she said she wanted to change the past. I don't know why. Well, there can only be one reason for that. That's true, Quistis, thank you. She must not be happy with the present. If that's the case, I'm definitely up for helping her. She's part of our orphanage gang. Like, you didn't even know that until just now. Like, yeah, you tell him, Selfie. You didn't even remember who she was. Hey, Selfie, that goes for you, too. Alright. Which actually then the idea of Irvine having a southern accent raises further questions because they all grew up together. Okay. Everyone was fond of Sis, but you, Switch, you kept hogging her for yourself. You sure have a good memory. This is really strange. It is really strange. I don't think I was adopted because of the way I am. Oh, that's harsh. Probably the same with Cypher too. YouTube was doing a card by the age of 5 or so. Okay. Oh, that was probably Irvine talking. Ah, almost so many people. Even so, he never mentioned anything about growing up in an orphanage. And nothing about this has ever crossed my mind when I see him either. Don't you find that odd? I do! I find it incredibly odd. That is strange. In my case, I had loads and loads of fun after going to Trabia. Oh yeah, that would make you forget your childhood. That's probably why I forgot about all my childhood. That's what I think. Really? That's what you think? Is like people were like, "Woo, let's party," and you were like, "Wait, didn't I used to have a childhood?" Like, I remember. Yes, I remember now. Yeah, but that doesn't. I'm so exhausted. I'm so exhausted by all this not remembering stuff. These people have been hanging out for like days, months, probably. That's when I first noticed Cypher and Switch. Okay, so her adoption didn't work out well. Cypher and Switch were always fighting. Yeah, Chris just always used to break us up. To break it up. It's easy to do, break it up. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Cypher was a kid who always needed to be the center of attention. Ugh. But Switch always used to ignore him. But eventually they would end up fighting. That's exactly the way that dynamic would work. Switch could have easily walked away from it, but always took up the challenge. He should have just ignored him, but Switch almost in tears. I gotta do the best by myself, or else I won't be able to see Sis. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense that would, like, be happening later after everybody forgot. I guess I was trying to take Alani's place. I tried, but to no avail. That's probably it. Even after becoming an instructor, I couldn't stop thinking about Switch. Well, that's because he's hot. No. I thought it was love. I had to hide my feelings because I was an instructor. But I've come to realize it wasn't. Ooh, wow. She, like, thought she was in love with it. And she's hot. Like, here's my childhood feelings as a big sister that lingered. Like, 2 years older than me. Oh, well. And then she just shrugs off. She's like, oh, well. A misunderstood love. Actually, I'd completely given up when Renoa came into the picture. You jump into some pretty big conclusions there. It must be the same for Cypher. I'm sure Cypher's forgotten his childhood too. Yeah, so Cypher doesn't like us but doesn't know why. So, like, I guess this explains some of people's psychology, like Irvine being in love with Selfie and, like, Quistis thinking she's in love with Switch. Like, why is it that we forgot? Yeah, that's a good question. Why is it that you forgot? We grew up together as kids. How's that possible? That's a good question. How is that possible? How about this? The price we pay for using the GF. The GF provides us its power, but the GF makes its own place inside our brain. So you're saying that the areas where our memories are stored? No, that's just a rumor the GF critics are spreading. Okay, so people like... So if we keep relying on the GF, we won't be able to remember a lot of things? Well, that's quite a price to pay, I suppose. I mean... There's no way Headmaster Sid would allow such a dangerous thing. Well, he, like, sends you out as trained mercenaries to kill people. You could die in battle. I mean, like... Then how is it that I remember what everyone else has forgotten? Well, in my case, I hadn't junctioned to GF until recently. That's why I remember a lot more than you guys. How about you, Selfie? Your first experience with the GF was when you came to Balam Garden, right? Yeah. She's a lying bitch. I was kinda harsh, I'm sorry. I have a confession to make. That you're a lying bitch? When I was 12, I went on an outdoor training session. Oh, I found a GF inside one of the monsters I defeated. Oh, well, I junked that GF for a while, so I experienced GF too. Well, but then when you still have that GF, like, but it's really weird. I can't remember the name of that GF. Oh, jeez, seriously, like. Okay, so the GFs make us lose our memories. We all live together in an orphanage. I like it. What should we do? Nothing. What do you mean, nothing? So what do you want to do? You want to stop using GF now? As long as we continue fighting, we're indebted to the powers of the GF. Well, fair enough. I mean, they are really powerful, but, like, if that's the price I have to pay for that, I'll gladly pay it. Yeah, but you hate your childhood. Like, hey, I know, let's all keep a diary! No. That way we'll always have something to remind us. Are you sure that's what you want? Maybe that's for the best. Yeah, I don't care if I forgot about my childhood when Cypher used to pick on me. And you were a crybaby. What's important to me now is having the power to protect my parents in Balam. They adopted me. That's no way I'm letting go of that power. Like, and logically, you know, every kid I've ever known that's, like, been adopted, like, at a very young age really does just, like, say, well, those are my parents. Like, it doesn't. Hey, do you all remember Matron? Okay, so this is where it gets super, like, down the rabbit hole weird. She was always wearing black. Yeah, like, very kind, long black hair. Yes, I really admired her. I see a resemblance. Matron, they look alike. Wait, I just pictured her face and... Look alike? Now that's not it. Matron's name is Adia Kramer. Matron is Sorceress Adia. That's crazy. Like, that's like... Blah. Okay, so the woman who raised you, like, is also this evil, crazy sorceress that you're trying to kill? Like, well, you didn't realize that you all live together? Like, this is pure Final Fantasy stuff. You wonder why Matron would take over a country or fire missiles and whatnot? At that point, I probably wouldn't comprehend it even if we talked about it. Yeah, that's actually makes good sense. Hear me out. Okay. Seed and garden were all Matron's ideas, right? I'm not a seed, but I share the same feelings with all of you. Seeds are supposed to fight the sorceress, right? This is strange. Yes, it is strange. It is very strange. That's right. It was. Oh, that's right. It was when I was being tortured by Cypher. He wanted to know what seed was. Matron should know. But Matron is Sorceress Adia. There's no denying that. Okay. What does this all mean? Yeah, that's a great question. What does it all mean? It's very random. Switch, you listening? Jeez. Like, nobody could be listening to this just bizarre spider web of stuff. So, like, this is what I wanted to say. Let's see. Oh, yeah. He forgot! He forgot what he was going to say! The guy with the perfect memory. I understand what Renault was saying. I understand, but still, I'm going to fight. I want to stay true to everything I've stood for. I'm sure it's the same for everyone. That's why I thought I'd be best if everyone knew we have to face Matron. You've all heard this before. How life has infinite possibilities. I don't believe that one bit. There were many paths for me to choose. Sometimes there'd be only one. Or there weren't many paths for me to choose. From the limited possibilities I faced, the choice I made have brought me this far. That's actually a really good point. That's why I value the path I choose. Or I chose. I want to hold true to the path that had to be taken. I know our opponent is Matron, whom we all love very much. We might lose something very important on account of the GF, but I don't mind. It's not like I drifted here on the tides of fate. I'm here because I chose to be here. And more importantly, we all grew up together. But due to various circumstances, we were all separated. As a kid, you couldn't really go out on your own. There were no other paths to take. All you did was just cry. But somehow we're together again. Just like old times, though a lot's changed. We're not kids anymore. We're strong enough to take care of ourselves. Make our own decision. We're confronting a big one right now. Do we fight Matron or not? He has a really great point, though. Like, you don't have infinite possibilities, like, and like, yeah, he says at least it'll keep us together a little longer. But, like, you don't have infinite possibilities in your life. Like, there are some things you'll never be able, like, once you choose to, like, learn something, like, you may give up the opportunity to, like, learn, and eventually you become a person who has, like, you know, like, I am at a point in my life where, like, I am not going to be, like, a teen pop idol. I'm 32. Like, it's not gonna happen. So, like, I no longer have that choice. But on a grander scale, like, I'm also not a murderer. Like, I would never be able to, like, murder somebody in cold blood. Like, I made a bunch of choices that led me to be a person who's incapable of that. And, like, so I've lost, and, like, life is about narrowing down those choices and still, like, kind of keeping your options open, but, like, really, there aren't, like, I mean, when you're a kid, so many decisions are made for you. You really are kind of put on a path where it's just like, you know, some kids don't have, like, when they turn 18, they don't have a chance, like, to do certain things that they might have chosen. Like, they have chances to do other things, but, like, I don't know. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna go to the orphanage now. Probably has to do with something that happened in the past. Yeah, so we can't change the past. Like, despite what truth we find, it's not gonna change the present. Right, but we've got to go somewhere because it's a video game. But I want to see too. Okay, so we're all gonna go to the orphanage. And I don't know, it's just an interesting thing to think about like the choices that are no longer open to you, and like the choices that, you know, will be, and like the choices that you make. Like, at some point in your life, it doesn't make any sense to go to medical school anymore. You know, even if you could. So, you guys are fearless. Fearless? I don't think that's quite right. If you think too hard, you become lost. I think that's what everyone's afraid of. That would be fair. I wish we didn't have to fight either. I'm sure he does wish that. I'm sure most soldiers wish that. Like, most soldiers don't want to fight. Because fighting's nasty. It's nasty. Like, you might have to kill somebody might have to kill you. Like, you know, I think everybody would rather not have fighting going on. Wow, we went really deep into this, like... I like Irvine's speech, by the way, about the limited possibilities and stuff. I really think it's cleverly written and really belongs to this. This is one of the reasons I really love this game, is that kind of stuff, so... Alright, so that was a lot. That was just 20 minutes of pure cutscene, and we're gonna get out of the garden here, and we're gonna save our game and stop the video. So I'm glad you guys came along for that ride into crazy Twilight Zone-ish stuff, and you know, I'll talk to you guys later. So bye, everybody.